From judgment to justice, the truth behind the Igelu Unity Estate crisis. It all began on 5th July 2025 when a competent court of law, presided over by Justice Apriko, delivered a clear declaratory judgment in a suit instituted in 2017 by Fabulous Amawele against individuals representing purported landowners from Rumahoto, Rumolu, Rumumbatawere, and Rumaha communities of Rumwakeni Town, Obiakpo local government area. The judgment was decisive and final in effect. The judgment creditors lawfully commenced possession of the land in strict compliance with the law. At this stage, Odibola Properties Limited was formally invited, particularly on behalf of organized and legitimate bodies including the Association of Medical Doctors, United Health Staff, Choba UPTH, the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics, Captain Alichi Amadi Polytechnic Chapter, Universities Garden Estate, under ASU, and other stakeholders to negotiate settlement, harmonize interest, and undertake structured development of the area. Demonstrating transparency, capacity, and financial discipline, Odibola Properties approached its bankers, raised the required funds, and entered into settlement agreements with the judgment creditors. Shortly after, University's Garden Estate independently requested to be accommodated under the same lawful settlement and development framework, a decision taken to ensure uniform planning, orderly development, and long-term sustainability across the area. With the necessary authorizations and agreements in place, Odibola Properties moved to site and commenced development. It was at this point the resistance emerged, not from the courts, but from individuals who had lost conclusively in court. Unable to overturn the judgment, a coordinated land-grabbing propaganda campaign was launched against Odibola Properties Limited, a company that, in over a decade of operations, has never been involved in illegality and firmly believes that the end of illegality is shame. Despite sustained attempts to provoke confrontation and discourage investors, Odibola Properties remained calm, professional, and law-abiding, continuing development strictly within the bounds of the law. As misinformation spread, the company's managing director and chief executive officer, Bolaji Oshobukola, publicly clarified the facts, the subsisting court judgments, and the company's lawful development mandate. This intervention exposed that the propaganda was being driven by a small group of individuals within Rumakani, notably Patrick Akandu, popularly known as Instigator, Clement Soso Akandu, Omakwele Ihuo, also known as Pepe. Over the years, these individuals allegedly operated a coordinated land-grabbing ring, repeatedly using the name of the wider community to give legitimacy to unlawful land dealings. Their false narratives attracted the attention of Obiakpo Local Government Authority, leading to the intervention of the local government chairman, Honorable Gift Wolu, who convened several meetings involving all parties. After weeks of careful deliberations and fact-finding, the position was unequivocal. Lawful development should continue unless a valid stay of execution was obtained, a legal impossibility under the subsisting judgment. The matter was conclusively clarified on 18th December 2025 when a separate and independent judgment delivered by Justice L.C. Thompson affirmed ownership in favor of the Okachi family of Mbodo Alu. This judgment finally dismantled the narrative surrounding the so-called Igelu Rumakani land and exposed years of deception practiced on unsuspecting buyers. Following this judgment, affected householders, distinct from the criminal actors, approached Odibola Properties Limited at its Tombia Extension GRA office, appealing that their buildings should not be taken over or demolished. In response, Odibola Properties, through its general director / CEO, initiated settlements discussions in good faith and strictly without prejudice. It's important to clearly state that these settlement discussions were with the house owners and not with the criminal elements. The engagements were constructive and respectful, but have not yet been concluded, as Odibola Properties is still actively negotiating with the judgment creditors who hold the enforceable legal rights over the land. The judgment creditors have acknowledged the company's intervention, expressed satisfaction with the process so far, and agreed to await Odibola Properties' final response before any binding decisions are taken. This approach reflects Odibola Properties' commitment to lawful process, fairness, and humane resolution, ensuring that innocent occupants are not unfairly punished, while the authority of the court is fully respected. Unfortunately, the criminal elements who were not part of this discussion chose a different path. In defiance of court orders and lawful authority, they escalated to violence, allegedly mobilizing armed criminals who invaded the site, opened fire, and shot Apostle Stephen Macha, a community member who stood firmly on the side of truth and justice. Vehicles were vandalized and valuables worth millions of naira were destroyed or stolen. Further escalation involved the armed misuse of local vigilante structured by Azubike Amadi, popularly known as Ocean, who mobilized over 200 OSPAC members to storm Unity Estate, hoping to intimidate the developer and halt lawful development. They failed. The Nigerian Police Force, under the decisive leadership of the Rivers State Commissioner of Police, responded swiftly and professionally, declaring suspects wanted, effecting arrest, and restoring law and order after assessing the level of destruction and the grievous injuries sustained by the shooting victim. On Friday, 9th January, members of the Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics visited their property en masse, making a powerful and unmistakable public statement.
I am Odibola Properties, the chairman of the Land Management Committee of ASUP, that's Academic Staff Union of Polytechnics at the Captain Eleji Amadi Polytechnic. I came here to see the subject matter of interest, that's our land, for which we got judgment on the 18th of December at the High Court. And since we're many, we decided to take a day to come and see. And so we have come today to see the area for which we got judgment. And we are really shocked that a place that was completely barren, we cleared the thick bush and all of that, and we started getting intruders, and eventually we found ourselves in court, and we felt we should follow due process. We were through with the court. We need to come and see the whole place littered with encroachments, structures here and there. We have been in court with a group in Rumekene. They trespassed the land, and to the glory of God, the court gave a verdict that the land belonged to the people who sold to us, Mbodo families, not Rumekene. Yeah. There was a time my humble self, I was faced with over 100 machete carrying men. Yes, in the bush. More than machete carrying men, over 100 of them, and they identified themselves as people from Roma Wicho family of Rumekene. Yeah. And we felt that we should just, in a modern world, use the peaceful approach. We tried, and well, we are where we are today. We have a court judgment already, and the interesting part of that judgment is that there is a perpetual injunction against the Rumekene people. So they are barred from entering here, they are restrained from entering here. So we expect that since we are not in a banana republic, that nobody from Rumekene, their agents or privies, should come here again.
Yeah, my name is Dr. John Busse. I'm the secretary of the ASUP Land Estate. And we're here today to see what's going on in pursuant to the judgment we got on the 18th of December, right?
Yeah.
And so coming here, we've seen a lot of unbelievable activities. And many of these activities started even after the judgment. Even today, you can see trailers of trailer load of blocks going in. People are raising horrid structures. And it's unfortunate what is on ground. But we are just, with the judgment we have, we are calm enough. But it was important for members of the estate to come and see what the position is on ground, and that's why we're here.
Professor Independence and just want to thank God that we are still alive to this. When we came here, I don't want to repeat what our chairman or chair lady. When we came here 2011, I was the one that brought them here. It didn't make sense to anybody living in Port Harcourt that people could inhabit here. 2011, nobody harassed us, nobody, no bush, thick forest. No, there was no road anywhere. But unfortunately, when the airport began to open, people began to indicate interest along. So everywhere began to be monetized. That was how miscreants, came in, and we had already finished allotted the land, given to everybody, and walked away, waiting for planning, prototype of building, what to do with developers to come and help us develop. That's what we are doing in our place. But before we knew it, criminal elements on their own came here and started partitioning our land from this community of Mekene. We tried all we could to talk, to discuss what is it. They left us, did everything. But we thank God there is law. And we ask God to keep us alive till the end of the matter. And here we are today. We decided to come after the verdict, the judgment was given on the 18th of December. We decided to come here to do assessment, because when we brought them here was complete forest, no building anywhere. The only building we met here was Uniport land, the chairman demonstrated 3-bedroom flat. Only building we met, the 2011, didn't make sense to anybody. So we insisted that the owners of this project, the scheme, must come here to do assessment, so that when we go back to sit down on all our planning, people will understand. When we are making contributions, say this is what we want to do and all that, people will understand. Because if we don't come here, no, they won't understand. When we say these are the challenges we have, this is what we want to do, this is the next level of action. That's why we're here this morning, and we are satisfied. We thank God that the people that own this, well over 300 of all kinds of people, caliber of people in the society that own this project. That's why we're here. So we're done.
My name is Bolaji Oshobukola. I'm the MDC of Odibola Properties.
So why are we here?
Well, like you see, this is the unity layout we talk about, where they attack someone. And, the propaganda has been going on for a very long time, making the public to understand that Odibola came somewhere to grab a land, and making them also believe that, Odibola is powerful, he just came to invade the land. So today, what you are saying is the ASUP, Association of Polytechnic Lecturers and Administrations Admin, came to see their land after a judgment was delivered by S.C. Thompson. They have been in occupation of this land for the past 15 years, not when the land grabbers from Rumekene, led by Prince, Soso and Patrick, invaded the place and started selling to all suspecting buyers. So after the judgment, as developers, we are contacted to develop, and they are giving the public a kind of notion that we came to grab the land. To an extent, they came to attack somebody in the land, almost killed some persons. So we are saying we will not allow their propaganda to sell. So the people said, let us come, let people know that we own this property, and also hear from us to see that we are much in number, more than this criminal. And that is why they picked today and say they want to visit and make an assessment of what is actually happening in their land. And that is why we are actually here today. Me, I'm just a developer that I don't even have half plot in this place. I don't have have any land there, just a developer. But the world was meant to believe something else, but we never bothered. Though, like I always tell people, the voice of illegality cannot overshadow the voice of truth. Odibola as a company is a company built on integrity. We're a company that believes that legality is legality and the law must take its course whenever it needed to. So we don't really believe in cutting corners, and everybody knows that.
So is this a case where you're going to get the government involved?
Well, the government have declared the criminals wanted, and like you see, we are all pursuing the matter to a logical conclusion to ensure that all those who came to perpetrate that criminality will understand that there is law in this country and they need to abide by law, and they don't make people believe that illegality is so powerful. I usually tell people that the end of illegality is shame. That is my slogan. And I tell people, find out anywhere. You can't find me wanting. I'm proud of it because I'm a man that follows principle. I'm a man of integrity that believes that there is nothing illegality can fetch you. So we are here under the law to ensure that this place is properly developed. And Prince, Patrick and Soso, who are the land grabbers sponsoring thugs and criminals to come and invade, have nothing on us. They can't scare anybody. Nobody. We are fully in charge, and that is the reality. We need a fear in the local language.
Odibola Properties Limited did not enter the land unlawfully. It was invited on a legitimate assignment to develop lawfully acquired property. This is not merely a story of development. It is a story of law over lawlessness, truth over propaganda, and order over criminality. Odibola Properties Limited remains committed to lawful development, peace, and the protection of legitimate investments. And today, justice stands not only for Odibola Properties, but for the rule of law in River State.